The sky on planet Kalen was on fire. Red flames danced in the dark. The ground shook as alien bombs fell from the sky. Buildings turned to dust. People screamed, but no one could help them. The Drovak Empire had arrived. Kalen was a peaceful, human colony. Families lived there. Children played in the parks. Now there was only silence and smoke. The Drovak were not just aliens. They were conquerors. For 100 years they had crushed every planet they attacked. Fast, without mercy. They destroyed 31 human colonies already. No survivors, no warnings. Just death. Earth tried to stop them. But Earth was weak now. Human fleets were broken. Leaders were scared. Some even said surrender was better than fighting. But one ship did not surrender. Far away from the main war zones, near the edge of a dead star system, one human warship was still alive. Its name was Vanguard 7. It floated in the shadows of broken moons, hiding from scanners. Its metal hull was damaged. Black scorch marks covered the sides. Its engines were weak. Life support systems were failing. Inside, the ship was cold and dark. Only a few lights still worked. Sparks flew from broken wires. The sound of alarms had stopped long ago. There were only 12 crew members left. Once, Vanguard 7 had a crew of 100. The others were dead. Some died in battles, others from injuries. Now, only 12 remained. Tired, wounded, angry. The leader of the ship, Captain Raina Cross, stood near the main console. Her face was pale, her left arm was in a sling, but her eyes were full of fire. She looked at her crew. "We don't run," she said. "And we don't surrender." "No one is coming to save us," replied Sergeant Kale, the weapons expert. "We are the last." Raina nodded slowly. "Then we hold the line." On a Drovak command ship, many light years away, a signal appeared on the screen. Unusual energy detected. "Human origin. Sector Delta 9. The Drovak commander narrowed his red eyes. "Impossible. That area is empty." "Should we investigate?" asked his second-in-command. The commander laughed. "Send one scout ship. If it's a human survivor, crush them." Back on Vanguard 7, the crew watched the screen. "They're coming," said Engineer Lyra. "One ship, small scout class." Captain Raina smiled. "Perfect. Let's welcome them." Sergeant Kale armed the plasma cannons. "We only have 2 working guns left." Raina's voice was cold. "That's enough." The Drovak scout ship approached slowly. It scanned the area. No threats detected. Human ship is damaged and cold. As the alien ship moved closer, Vanguard 7's lights stayed off. Silent. Still. Then in 1 second, everything changed. Vanguard 7 fired both plasma cannons. The energy blasts hit the Drovak scout ship straight in the engine core. Boom! A massive explosion lit up the dark sky. The alien ship turned into fire and metal pieces. The human crew cheered. "One down," said Raina. "Many to go." But the Drovak commander wasn't laughing anymore. He stared at the screen. "Scout ship destroyed? By one human vessel?" "Orders, sir?" asked his officer. The commander stood. "Send the hunters. I want that ship destroyed." Back on Vanguard 7, Raina knew what was coming. "They will send more," she said. "Then we fight more," replied Kale. "No," Raina said. "We do something bigger. We show the galaxy that Earth still fights." The crew watched her. "We're not just surviving," she said. "We're starting a war." The pieces of the destroyed Drovak scout ship still floated in space. Vanguard 7 remained hidden, cold and quiet. The crew watched the screens closely. No one smiled now. "They will come for us," said Sergeant Kale. "That explosion was loud. Too loud." Captain Raina stood still, thinking. The blue glow from the console lit her face. "Yes, but we have time. Maybe just a few hours." Engineer Lyra checked the systems. Engines are unstable, weapons overheating. Shields at 23%. We can't take on a full fleet. We're not going to, Reyna said. She turned to her crew. We don't fight like they do. We fight smarter. In the dark engine room, Tech Officer Ben was already working. His fingers moved fast across the broken wires. Sparks flashed. Cold air filled the room. He whispered to himself, "Come on, baby. Just one more chance." Finally, click. "Captain." His voice came through the ship's speaker. "I have something. The alien ship left behind a clean data link before we destroyed it. We can access part of their comms system." Reyna's eyes lit up. "Can you track their fleet?" Ben nodded. "Maybe. I can also send fake signals. Confuse them," Reyna smiled. "That's how we survive." Meanwhile, aboard the Drovak warship, Commander Zelvok watched the burning wreckage of his scout ship on the screen. Human ship, one cannon, one ambush, and still it destroyed us? He slammed his clawed hand on the console. "I want them gone, now!" "Tracking systems are blind in that sector," replied his officer. "They are hiding." "They cannot hide forever," said Zelvok. "No prey escapes the hunters." He ordered 10 hunter ships to move towards Sector Delta 9. Faster. Armed. Ready. Back on Vanguard 7, the crew had no time to rest. Ben connected to the alien signal. Strange alien symbols ran across the screen. "What are they saying?" asked Kale. Ben translated. "They think we're dead already, but they are coming just to confirm." Reyna walked closer. "Good. Let's give them a surprise." She looked at the map. A nearby asteroid field stretched across the sector. "Perfect," she whispered. In the war room, the crew gathered around a hologram of the asteroid belt. "We hide here," Reyna said. "Set decoy signals in 2 places. They'll chase shadows." "And when they enter the field?" asked Lyra. Kale grinned. "We hit them. From below the rocks. Just like old Earth pirates." The crew nodded. The plan was risky, but it was all they had. Hours passed. In the cold of space, Vanguard 7 drifted silently into the asteroid field. It shut off all lights. No engine sound, no signal, just a ghost in the dark. Ben sent out 2 fake signals, one to the east, one to the west. The alien hunter ships arrived. "Split into 2 groups," the Drovak captain ordered. "Destroy the source of the human signal." As they moved into the field, they didn't see the human ship below a massive asteroid. Inside Vanguard 7, Reyna gave the order. "Fire." Boom. One alien ship exploded. Before the others could react, Kale launched a mine from under a rock. "Boom! Another one gone. Target lost," shouted the alien pilot. "It's a trap!" yelled another. In 10 minutes, 4 alien ships were destroyed. The rest escaped, firing wildly into empty space. Back on the Drovak command ship, Commander Zelvok stared in silence. "One ship," he whispered. "One ship is doing this?" His claws shook. Inside Vanguard 7, the crew cheered. But Reyna didn't smile. "They're angry now," she said. "Next time, they'll bring more. They won't fall for tricks again." She looked at the stars. "We need to send a message. To Earth. To everyone." Kale raised an eyebrow. "You mean let the galaxy know we're still alive?" Reyna nodded. Ben replied, "That's not easy. Drovak control most channels. They'll trace us if we try." "Then we give them something worth chasing," Reyna said. "We don't just survive. We make them afraid." The asteroid field was quiet again. Vanguard 7 had disappeared into the shadows, just like a ghost. The Drovak hunting party was in pieces, some ships destroyed, some fleeing in panic. The legend of a phantom human ship had just begun. Inside, "Vanguard 7, the crew move fast." "No time to rest," said Captain Reyna. "They're angry now. They'll return with everything they have." "But we hurt them," said Sergeant Kale with a smirk. "They're not used to pain." Captain Reyna walked to the center console. The lights on the map flickered. "We have to do more," she said. "We can't just run. We need to hit harder, smarter." A new target engineer, Lyra, pointed to a Drovac convoy route. "They move supplies through this sector," she explained. "Fuel, weapons, food, no heavy warships, just cargo and light escort." Reyna's eyes narrowed. "If we hit them there, it will slow their war machine." "But it's risky," Lyra warned. "They'll send backup fast." "Then we hit fast," Reyna said, "and we vanish faster." A clever trap. Vanguard 7 hid inside a dead mining station near the convoy route. It was quiet, dark, and cold. They powered down everything, engines, lights, even life support for a while. The ship became part of the space junk. Time passed slowly. Then, blip, a Drovac convoy appeared on the scanner. 3 cargo ships, 2 small escort fighters. "They don't expect trouble," Kale whispered. "Let's make it hurt." The trap was set. As the convoy passed, Vanguard 7 powered up in seconds. Boom! The first cargo ship exploded from a hidden mine. Zap! Zap! Kale fired plasma cannons, hitting the escort fighters before they could react. The second cargo ship tried to turn, but it was too late. Reyna launched a missile, direct hit. The third cargo ship tried to flee. Vanguard 7 chased it through debris and destroyed it near a broken moon. It all happened in less than 2 minutes after the fire. Silence returned. Inside Vanguard 7, the crew celebrated quietly. 3 supply ships down, said Lyra. They'll feel that. Kale leaned back in his chair. We're turning into space pirates. Captain Reyna smiled for the first time in days. No, we're turning into a message, and that message was spreading. Across distant colonies, humans picked up strange signals, unknown source, human voice. This is Vanguard 7. We are alive. We are fighting. Earth is not finished. People who had lost hope listened again. Some whispered, maybe we're not alone. Some began preparing their old ships, old weapons, old plans. But the Drovac were watching. Commander Zelvok stared at the new report. Convoy destroyed. By the same human ship. His fists tightened. Send a deep scanner fleet. I want that ship found. I want it broken. His second-in-command nodded. Shall we send destroyers? Zelvok growled. Send everything. That ship dies next. Back. On Vanguard 7, the crew knew it too. Ben looked at the rising signal traffic. They're hunting us with full strength now. Reyna stood tall. Then we lead them where we want. Kale asked, what's the next move? Reyna turned toward the stars. We're going to steal something very big. Space was quiet. Again, but it wouldn't last long. Inside Vanguard 7, the crew prepared for something big. Captain Reyna stood in the command room, staring at a glowing map. They think we're just a small problem, she said. We're about to change that. What are we going after? Asked Kale, loading his weapon. A Drovac signal tower, Reyna replied. One of their main comms relays in this region. Ben, the tech officer, looked shocked. That tower is protected. If we attack it, every Drovac ship nearby will come running. Reyna nodded. Exactly. That's why we're not just attacking it, we're going to hijack it. The planned engineer Lyra pulled up blueprints of the signal tower. It's not a war base, she said. Just a huge antenna in orbit, low weapons, small crew, but guarded by a few defense drones. And after we take it? Asked Kale. Ben answered, we use their own network to send one message, our message, to every system they control, all at once. The galaxy will hear us, Reyna said. They will know Earth is not broken. The approach. Vanguard 7 powered down and drifted silently toward the tower. No lights, no radio. Oh, just a floating shadow in the black. The Drovac crew inside the station never saw it coming. Vanguard 7 launched a silent boarding pod. 5 crew members entered the tower quietly. Reyna, Kale, Lyra, Ben, and a young gunner named Jax. They moved. Through the halls like ghosts, laser knives ready, no noise. No mercy. Within minutes, the tower was under human control. Hijack the network. Ben sat at the main terminal, sweating. "The system is huge," he said. "One wrong command and it'll shut everything down." "You can do it," Reyna said, firmly. "We believe in you." Ben's fingers flew across the alien controls. Lights flashed, symbols changed, the system responded. He smiled. "We're in." The message. Reyna stood in front of the alien camera. The screen showed hundreds of channels, now connected. She looked into the lens. Her voice was calm, strong. "This is Captain Reyna Cross of Vanguard 7. You thought Earth was finished. You crushed our colonies. You burned our skies. But we are still here. We are not surrendering. We are not afraid. And we are not alone. To every human out there, pick up your tools, your weapons, your courage. Rise, fight. We will take back our stars. This is not the end. This is the beginning." The response. Across hundreds of systems, people heard her voice. In secret bunkers, old soldiers stood up. In broken colonies, farmers looked to the sky with hope. On distant moons, small rebel groups began to move. Earth's leaders received the signal, and for the first time in months, they didn't argue. They listened. The legend of Vanguard 7 was no longer a secret. It had become a spark. But the fire was coming. Back on the alien command ship, Commander Zelvok roared with rage. "They dared to use our signal tower?" He slammed his fist on the console. "Prepare the fleet. I want Vanguard 7 erased." His ships moved fast. Over 30 warships heading toward the tower. Back on the tower. Ben's eyes widened. "Captain, they're coming. Big fleet. 20 minutes away." Reyna didn't panic. She looked at her crew. "We've sent the message," she said. "Now it's time to disappear again. One last trick." Before they left, Ben uploaded a virus into the Drovac system, one that would hide Vanguard 7's trail and jam enemy scanners for hours. The crew rushed back to the ship, undocked, and jumped into deep space, just as the enemy fleet arrived. The Drovac found nothing, just an empty tower and a repeating human message echoing across the stars. The stars were silent, but danger was growing. After hijacking the Drovac signal tower, Vanguard 7 became the most wanted ship in the galaxy. Bounty messages spread across alien channels. "Destroy the human ship. No survivors." Every pirate, warlord, and hunter now had one target: Captain Reyna and her crew. Inside Vanguard 7, the crew watched the enemy fleets spread across space like a net. "We're surrounded," said Kale, studying the map. "They've placed warships in every escape route." Reyna stayed calm. "Then we don't escape. We outthink them." Engineer Lyra tapped on her console. "We need repairs. The engines are running hot, and the stealth drive is burning out." Ben nodded. "And our signal jammer?" "Almost dead." Reyna looked out the window at the stars. "We need a hiding place, somewhere even the Drovac fear to go." The Void Sector. A name spoken only in whispers. It was a dead zone between galaxies. No light, no planets. Just dust, gravity storms, and broken ships. "Even Drovac scouts avoid it," Lyra said. "They say things disappear there." Reyna's voice was steady. "Perfect. Let's disappear. The journey begins." Vanguard 7 jumped into the edge of the Void Sector. The stars faded behind them. Darkness surrounded the ship. Inside, the crew felt the pressure. "No signals, no noise, no light," whispered Jax, the young gunner. "Feels like we're inside a grave." Ben's hands shook. "I'm losing control of navigation. Gravity spikes are everywhere." The ship rocked suddenly. "Shields holding," Lyra shouted. "But we can't stay here too long." But they weren't alone. Suddenly, an alert beeped. Kale stared at the screen. "Someone followed us." A Drovak hunter ship had tracked their jump trail, an advanced stealth craft, fast and deadly. "It's jamming our comms," said Ben. "It's faster than us," Lyra warned. "Then we make them come close," Reyna said coldly, "and we end them, the trap, in the darkness." Reyna flew Vanguard 7 into a dense cloud of black debris. Old shipwrecks floated in pieces. Ben activated ghost signatures, fake sensor signals that danced across the void. "They'll chase shadows," he said. The Drovak hunter ship darted into the cloud, confused by the false readings. "Now!" shouted Reyna. Kale fired EMP torpedoes. Boom! The hunter ship spun out of control. Its lights flickered. A second shot hit its engines. Fire erupted in space. The ship was destroyed. But it wasn't over. Just as they celebrated, a second signal appeared. "A battleship!" Lyra shouted. "They sent backup." Ben checked the readings. "It's huge. Over 30 missile banks. It's locking on." Reyna's voice was calm. "Charge the stealth drive. Get us out. Now!" Lyra screamed. "It's not ready. We need 60 more seconds." The Drovak battleship fired. Boom! A shockwave hit Vanguard 7. Lights flickered. Panels sparked. Jack screamed as he was thrown across the bridge. Reyna gritted her teeth. "Shields failing. Hold the line." Ben's fingers danced on the controls. "Stealth drive ready in 30, 20. Another missile hit. Hull breach in section. 4, Lyra cried. "We'll break apart before we jump." Kale grabbed the emergency support lever. "Hold her together, girl, just a few more seconds." Then, silence. Vanguard 7 vanished into hyperspace. The Drovak battleship fired again, but hit nothing. In the command room of the Drovak fleet, Commander Zelvok slammed his claws into the table. They slipped away again. He whispered, "No ship escapes forever." Back aboard Vanguard 7. Smoke filled the air. Jax had a bleeding arm. Kale was limping. Lyra was unconscious for a moment, but breathing. Ben's console was burned out. "We lost half our systems, but we're alive," Reyna said softly, "and that means we keep fighting." She looked at the dark, cracked glass of the main screen. "This chase won't end until one of us is gone." Vanguard 7 drifted through dark space. The ship was damaged. Sparks flew from broken wires. Half the lights were dead, but the crew was alive. Captain Reyna stood on the bridge, her arm wrapped in bandages. "We can't keep running," she said quietly. Lyra sat beside her, weak but working. "The stealth drive is burned out. Engines are unstable." Ben added, "Shields are low. If we're found now, we're finished." Reyna stared at the stars. "There's only one place left to go," she whispered. "The dust ring." The Uaida dust ring. An ancient, dangerous zone full of asteroid storms and black energy clouds. No one traveled there anymore, but long ago, Earth had a secret base there. Project Horizon. It was abandoned, or so everyone thought. Arrival at the ring, Vanguard 7, floated into the dust ring. Visibility dropped to 0. Rocks drifted like ghosts. Lightning cracked in space. Ben guided the ship carefully through the storm. "I found something," he said, voice tense. "Buried inside that asteroid. A power signal." Reyna's eyes lit up. "Take us in." They flew into the asteroid and found it, a giant hidden structure built inside the rock. Earth symbols still glowed faintly on its walls. "The base awakes." The docking arms opened automatically as if the base had been waiting. "Welcome," said a robotic voice. "Project Horizon, status, lost. Command restored." Lyra gasped. "It's still working." Inside the base, lights turned on one by one. Old tech, weapons, power cells, medical pods, even a communication room. "Who built this?" Jax asked, walking through the dark halls. Ben read the logs. It was Earth's last secret project. A place to rebuild, if we ever lost the war. Old allies. New fire. Reyna stood in the command center. "This base is now ours," she said. Lyra smiled. We can fix Vanguard 7 here, Ben added. We can send new messages, train rebels, build weapons. Cale checked the supply crates. We even have stealth mines, old but deadly. For the first time in weeks, the crew felt hope, but they were not alone. As Jax explored the lower levels, he found something strange, a locked vault. Ben, he called, there's something down here. They forced the door open. Inside, in cryo-sleep, was a human wearing an old Earth general's uniform. Ben's face went pale. This is Commander Thorn. Reyna's eyes widened. The hero of Europa. He vanished 12 years ago. The awakening. They activated the pod. The man opened his eyes slowly. His voice was rough, tired, but full of fire. You woke me up. That means Earth is burning. Reyna nodded. It is. But we're not done yet. Commander Thorn stood tall. Then let's show them what a real war looks like. Meanwhile, on the Drovak flagship, Commander Zelvok stared at the reports. Energy spike in the dust ring. His advisor nodded. Something ancient and human. Zelvok growled. Then we strike now, before they rise. The fleet changed course. Hundreds of ships heading for the dust ring. Back on the hidden base, alarms started flashing. They've found us, Ben said. Reyna looked at Commander Thorn. You said you had a plan? He smiled. Oh, yes, he said. And it starts with fire. The silence of the dust ring was broken. Hundreds of Drovak warships entered the zone. Their leader, Commander Zelvok, stood tall on his bridge. End them, he ordered. Burn the hidden base. Leave no trace. But the humans were ready. Inside, the secret base, Captain Reyna stood beside Commander Thorn, the legendary warrior once lost, now leading again. This is our last stand, Reyna said. Thorn nodded. No, this is our first strike. The trap is set. Ben activated the old Earth defense grid. Massive stealth mines floated into space, invisible in the dust. Lyra restored the plasma turrets on the asteroid's surface. Cale and Jax loaded Vanguard 7 with new missiles, deadlier than before. The base came alive. It wasn't just a shelter anymore, it was a fortress. The battle begins. The Drovak fleet opened fire, thousands of lasers lighting up the dark. Explosions rocked the asteroid. But suddenly, boom! A Drovak destroyer flew straight into a mine, then another, and another. Turrets lit up the sky, tearing through enemy ships. Vanguard 7 returns. Healed and upgraded, the ship shot out of the base like a hawk. Captain Reyna took the helm. We hold the line, she said. Like we always have. She flew straight into the heart of the fleet. Missiles screamed. Fighters followed. Inside the base, Commander Thorn led the second defense. Troops and drones fought side by side. Earth didn't. Fall! Thorn shouted. We rose from the ashes! He fired a massive railgun, blowing a Drovak dropship apart. Commander Zelvok snaps. He watched his fleet crumble. How? He growled. They were supposed to be broken, his second-in-command whispered. It's not just one ship anymore. It's a movement. The turning point. Across the galaxy, Reyna's old message was still spreading. Colonies rebelled. Earth's secret forces returned. Hidden fleets jumped from dark space. The human resistance had arrived. Thousands of ships, from Earth and its lost allies, poured into the battle. Final clash, Reyna versus Zelvok, Vanguard 7 flew straight toward the Drovak flagship. Reyna's voice came through on open comms. You crushed planets. You hunted our people, but one ship refused to fall. That ship became a symbol, and now, that symbol is your end. Zelvok roared and fired, but Vanguard 7 dodged, weaved, and hit the core reactor of his ship. Boom! The flagship exploded in a storm of fire. The rest of the Drovak fleet fled in panic. The dust ring burned with human victory after the battle. The hidden base became the center of a new alliance. Earth, reborn, led the charge. Vanguard 7 was no longer just a ship. It was a legend. And Captain Reyna? She stood at the edge of the hangar looking into the stars. "There will be more battles," she said. "But now, the galaxy knows. Humanity never falls. We rise, we fight, we win."